Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 307, season 13. Today's date is February 18th, 2024, and welcome to the program. On today's show, I will talk about the Limelight / Excalibur Nightclub in Chicago, and I will do my best to explain the history of this nightclub and my memories of this place. Also, I'll talk about Jello pudding pops. I miss those. Those were awesome. And I'll talk about a little history of that and my memories of that as well. But first, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Signal Mouthwash. I remember this product. So here's a commercial from 1979. And so sit back and relax. And I'll be right back with the program, folks. Thank you.
Just had a hamburger loaded with onions. Kiss me.
Onions?
Hey, kiss me. I got the signal.
Minty.
Signal mouthwash fights strong mouth odors.
I just ate garlic bread. Kiss me.
Garlic?
Come on, kiss me. I got the signal.
Hey, nice.
Signal fights strong mouth odors. Even garlic, even onions. Gives you fresher, cleaner breath. Clinical tests prove it. A kiss will prove it.
Kiss me. I got the signal.
Oh, such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 45% off select styles, plus a professional measure. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Signal Mouthwash. This product came out late 70s and then until the 80s. Back then, it was on television, the commercials, that is, there was like a fierce competition between mouthwashes. I remember Scope, there was Listermint, Listerine, many others. Lavoris, I think it's still made. In the 60s, they had Colgate 100. And so I guess it went away. I don't know exactly when, probably mid-80s, late 80s. It was just gone, And I don't know if it's still made. I haven't seen it. I doubt it. If it is, it's probably somewhere else, somewhere not in the United States. So I doubt it's here. No, I don't think it's here. So it was, they made it a minty mouthwash, like Scope. So I believe it was competing with that, And you get mouthwash. We all use it. I use it, like the Listerine, the regular Listerine, it never tasted good, but then they made it with Cool Mint, which I like, and that's good because but they said that's the best. That's the best one ever. And then it's been on the market for maybe about 100 years. So that's a fascinating history. Wow. Okay. All right. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to discuss the Limelight / Excalibur Nightclub in Chicago, and I will talk about Jello pudding pops. I'm going to talk about my memories of both of these topics. Before I get started, I'm going to mention a couple things. One, of course, it's my health. I will go to the oncologist Thursday, and I am nervous, very, very nervous. My PSA went up. So I don't know what the doctor's going to do. I'm very scared. So it could be anything. It could be maybe it's an infection. Maybe it's I don't know. Oh, it could be the calcium I've had before. It's elevated. He said the last time I saw him that he might try to make it go down. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Or try a new medication. I don't know. But I've been tired lately for the past week, worse than ever. I'm just lying down, and but today I'm much better, and yesterday too. But the past few days, no, it was like, oh, it was awful, and especially at late at night, it was like, ugh, I gotta go to bed. It's like, but I'm sleeping okay. That's a good thing. You need your sleep. You need your sleep like that. Second of all, still get comments from people for Vanish Chicagoland, also the podcast. I had one from another podcast show that he started listening. He sent me he posted this on my page and said he started listening from the first episode. Wow, that was a long time, and he loved it. That's great. That's wonderful. And I should return the favor. I should start listening to him. I will do that when I have time. So that's nice. It's nice. And, yesterday I had breakfast with a friend of mine from school. And we got into more detail. He asked me, when did you start Vanish Chicagoland? When did you start the podcast? What do you talk about? How did you get discovered and all that? I'm not going to explain the whole thing. I just told him everything. And he was, when we were growing up, he was interested in what I do, but not really. But now we're adults or old men. We're in the 60s. He loves it. He has listened to him to a couple episodes, a few, and he's giving me suggestions, and that's great. That's wonderful. I'm very appreciative. I love him for that, and that's wonderful. And that touched my heart. It really did. I saw him at the reunion last time. For school. From elementary school. So it's if you have a friend who have a long, that you have a friend for a long time, they support you, they love what you do. That's important. That to you, that is awesome to support you like that. Having having friendships is hard, so that means a lot to me. It really does. And it's kind of nice. Okay. Right now I'm going to talk about the Limelight Excalibur Nightclub. Now, this is kind of tricky. The history of it and my memories of it is, memory's kind of sketchy, but the history's it's kind of sketchy too. So I'll do the best I can to explain this place because it was very well known back in the 80s and the 90s and until today, but has changed businesses over the years. And so I'll start in the beginning of what this place was. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I don't want. Yeah, just bear with me. So yeah. So it was located at 632 North Clark Street. And at first, it was the Chicago Historical Society or the Chicago History Museum. And it was founded in 1856. Now, that's a long, long time ago. And it was there from, how would I say this? from 1850 all the way to 1932. And they moved it to, it was there for 36 years, and they moved it to its present location, 1601 North Clark Street. To tell you the truth, I've never been there. I wish I could go someday because I love history and it sounds fascinating. It really does. It sounds like a place I would spend hours browsing, looking around, and it's like, oh, this is cool. I love this. And so that survived the Chicago fire in 1871. It was built. It was fireproof. It was amazing, like that. And so then I don't know what was after that. After 1932, what was it over there? That location, I have no idea. I wish someone would. If someone can comment, please do, like that. So anyway, they opened in 1985. They opened the Limelight, and it was a nightclub. Yeah, it was a nightclub, and the nightclub it was operated by a man. His name was Peter Gettian. I think that's his name. He was from Canada, and he opened the first Limelight nightclub in Florida, and there was so he brought it back, and let's see. So he opened a few places. He opened in New York, London, and also in Chicago. Now, I went to the Limelight one time. I was at DeVry Institute of Technology. I was in college, and I was on a break. A friend of mine from school asked me, "You want to go to the Limelight?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" So, did you bring a date? I go, no, I didn't bring a date. So, you know what? He said he was going to bring a date, but he didn't, because, that was weird because he always had a girl with him all the time. And he had a girlfriend. As a matter of fact, he had a lot of girls. Well, we're not going to that. Anyway, so it was just the two of us, and we went, and he picked me up at my house. We drove over there to found a parking place and went to the nightclub. I think it was a Friday night. Yeah, it was a Friday night, and there was a line outside the place, and it was like, whoa, this is kind of cool. And you can hear the music outside, and I'm looking at the architecture and the structure of this building, and it's like, it's nice. It's like an old-fashioned medieval castle like that. But you don't expect King Arthur or Guinevere or showing up, at the round table. No, because this was a nightclub. And we got in, we were overage. So how old was I? 22, something like that. Yeah, 22. And we got inside. It was very loud, very loud. Oh my God! But it was music blaring, crowds, and you keep bumping into each other. They're laughing. They're smoking. Smoking was allowed in the place at the time. You come out there sometimes, and they're like, it's kind of funny. And they had museum cases where I think they were glass. I think they were glasses. I'm not sure. And they had dancers, models dancing, like go-go dancers, like in the 60s. And the main dance floor had a DJ, right? That. And I did remember, they advertised this on TV a few times. I think so. Yeah, I believe so. They did. So anyway, we only stayed for about a couple hours. It was getting a little too much. for me. And thank God my friend didn't drink. He drank, but he didn't get drunk and all that. Oh, thank God for that. And so it was fun. It was a fun experience. I never went back. As the Limelight, I never went back. So I experienced my first time at the Limelight like that. Yeah, it's kind of nice. And then in 1989, it changed into the Excalibur. Now, I did go there when it was Excalibur, and that was like 1990. Yeah, 1990. I went with someone. I had another. I had a job then, and someone's mentioned. Oh, this is what happened. The guy had a date. He had a date with a girl, and at the last minute, she canceled for some reason. I don't know why. And he said, "Pete, why don't you come with me to Excalibur?" All right, I said, "I'll meet you there." All right, I'll meet you there. Well, we drove because the place of work where we worked at, excuse me, was in Wilmette, up north, and we drove, and we had to find parking. Can't imagine how parking costs these days now, but it was still expensive. And we went there. So we went to the Excalibur. So I was trying to compare the Excalibur to the Limelight. And it was not the same, really. But they had live entertainment. They had dancing. They also had, you can dine. You can have dinner. We did have dinner. I forgot what I ate. And they had pool tables and arcade games. I like pool. I played a little pool with them, so that was fun. And like that. And Wednesday nights they had live band karaoke night. I don't think they had karaoke back then. Maybe they did. I don't know. I didn't see it. Probably. So that lasted longer than the Limelight. This club. So, but there's a legend about this place that it was haunted. It seems like there was a woman that came floating around the castle. She's dressed in white, and you heard like glass shattering, or you hear footsteps like that. There were some storage rooms there that I think some of the employees refused to go in because she was in there, or they witnessed some woman in white. Maybe it was a joke. I don't know. So it's kind of funny like that. And so I didn't see it. I didn't see a ghost like that. Listen, if you had a few drinks over there, maybe you do see anything. Like pink elephants or purple pussycats. But it was crowded. But if you ask me which was better, I would say Excalibur. That was more fun. Limelight was a little nuts. It was crazy. Excalibur was crazy, but they had more variety of fun there, to me. So that. I never went back there again. Never. I used to pass by it. I used to, and then the company moved down. Well, not my part of the company. That is, moved to nearby on LaSalle Street, and I saw the building, and I never went inside. But I told people, I've been there, like that, and I only saw it. I never went inside. I never went out again with anybody to this place, ever. And that was in business for a long time, and then it closed, and then it became Castle Chicago, like that. I don't know how long it lasted. Not sure. It was another nightclub, And I never went there. I don't know how it was. No idea like that. Okay. And then after, I found some history. After it moved, the Chicago Historical Society moved in 1932. Uh, it's been the lower order of Moose Lodge. It's probably a moose head there like that. And so Excalibur closed in 2012, and they renovated it, and then then Castle opened, and they made it into 3 nightclubs, a restaurant, and private parties. So if you want to reserve a party, go ahead. One thing I want to mention: when it was Excalibur, they had a section, like a nightclub called Vision. I don't know much about that. No idea. Okay, so the see, when did it close? So Castle closed maybe a couple of years or something like that. I'm not sure. So it closed later on, and now it is called Tao, Tao. It's like an Asian theme club restaurant. It's still open, so maybe someday I might go see that. And the structure is still there, the building's still the same, but I think it's a little more sedated or relaxed atmosphere. So far, it's doing well, from what I heard. I don't know. So it's a nightclub, it's a restaurant. So, the River North area is still hopping. People who live in the area go out, have a drink, have dinner, or people from out of town, stay for the weekend. They go there and enjoy themselves. That's kind of cool. There it is. When I went to Limelight in the 80s, the 80s was a crazy time, but a fun decade. It was a fun decade. It really was, I still remember the mullets from the hair. And the girls with the crazy makeup. And a few of them dressed like Madonna. Those were the days. They really were. Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going to talk about pudding pops. Okay, I'm going to talk about briefly. Pudding pops. Before I get started, I'm going to play a commercial for pudding pops. This commercial is from the 1980s, and this one does not feature Bill Cosby. I'll explain that after the commercial is played. It's very rare. So just sit back and relax and listen to a commercial from the 1980s for Jello pudding pops. And I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
One dance I want to show you, and it's really great. One. Fun just never stops. Good times on the share. Jello pudding pops. Hey guys, look what I got.
Jello pudding pops. It's creamy Jello pudding frozen on a stick.
Hey, let's go time. Good friends are for sharing the things you like a lot. Good times are for sharing. Jello pudding pops.
Since you're new to H&R Block, we'll look at your returns from the last 3 years for any money your last guy might have missed, for free.
I could get money back from last year?
You could. We'll find any mistakes.
Could have really used that 2 years ago when I dated that mistake for 5 months.
Don't leave money on the table. Switch to H&R Block and get a free Second Look review. Second Look is included at no additional cost with the purchase of tax preparation. Results vary. All tax situations are different. Fees apply if you have us file an amended return.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Jello pudding pops. This one featured without Bill Cosby, for reasons we know why. I wanted to, but he was spending the news for the past few years. He got involved with a lot of legal troubles. I'm not going to talk about that on this show. I like Bill Cosby. I always have, but it's inappropriate for this show. But he's been a spokesman for Jello for many, many years, since the 70s. And then I think he stopped in the 90s, right around the time The Cosby Show ended. Maybe after that. Yeah. So anyway, the pudding pops they were marketed by General Foods. So Bill Cosby, the comedian, he was the marketing. He was a spokesman, so he was on TV a lot. Peddling those things. So and he was with a bunch of kids and all that. He played an ice cream man and all like that. And you can see those commercials on YouTube if you like. So that was introduced late in the 70s, according to a website in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And then it just took off. And then it became more popular in the 1980s. I don't know if they featured commercials before Bill Cosby did. Maybe. I don't know. But they were a big hit. And then when he was a spokesman for that, it were huge. They were like, oh, wow. They just took, it was amazing. And the funny thing about this, my brother started buying those. My mom didn't. I don't know why. She overlooked them for some strange reason. I don't know what happened. So my brother, who was living with us at the time, he bought a box of them, and then first were chocolate. They were chocolate, and I said, "Oh, these are good." I tried one for the first time, like it was in the mid '80s. Oh, they were smooth. It's like a popsicle, better than a popsicle, but they were a smooth. It's like gelato in a way, but they were great, and they were skinny, not as thick and wide as a fudgicle. Like the popsicle brand made. And so it came in 3 flavors: chocolate, vanilla, and chocolate vanilla swirl. I like the chocolate vanilla swirl. I did, but to be honest, I like the chocolate one. Vanilla was okay. It was good, but if I had a choice between those 3, I would choose the chocolate vanilla swirl second, and the vanilla third. Those were the only 3 flavors that I know of. I don't think they made any other. They didn't make other pudding flavors, like for example, butterscotch, pistachio. What else? Chocolate fudge? No, like the Jello brands. They made. What other ones? Like banana? No. Lemon? No. So the product went on until the 90s, and then for some weird reason, they stopped. The reason was they were no longer profitable, which was, like I said before, it was odd, like that. And so they stopped about, I don't know, mid 90s, late 90s or something like that. I never noticed like that. So that was a shame like that. So they were introduced in 2004 under the brand name Popsicle. Okay. The difference was it was a different shape, and it wasn't the same. And then it lasted about 7 years. And so I guess that's the reason why. I guess people want the original flavors or what it was before, So I guess that didn't happen, which is a shame. And so the ingredients, it had 90 calories and 3 grams of fat and 15 grams of carbohydrates. So that wasn't too bad. It's a nice dessert. It was sweet, of course. You can. I've never eaten 2. Just one's enough. Because I love popsicles. Like that. One thing I want to mention, Jello came out with Jello gelatin pops. I'm not sure when that came out. not exactly sure. I could find the history of that. No, I don't know. Because maybe about the same time, and I think maybe not. I think it came out much later than that. And the flavors they had, gelatin pops, were let's see. I had it right here, and I forgot. Okay, I think it was like, yeah, here it is. They had strawberry, orange, grape, and cherry. Okay. I think they came out with other flavors later on. Uh, they had, I think they had raspberry. Yeah, they had that. So I don't know when it started. I don't know when it uh, discontinued. So I have no idea. I don't know. I did try a couple. Yeah, I think my mother bought them a couple times, and they were okay. It's like frozen Jello. It's fruity. But I prefer chocolate. So yeah, so I think those came from the late '80s after Pudding Pops. They did that. Of course, what's famous about Jello. Jello is a very is a product that's been around for ages. It's been advertised on the radio, television. And people make fun of it. Still, yeah, it's still good. Like that. I love their puddings. Or they make the golden egg custard, tapioca. And let's see, Jello molds, all kinds of wonderful recipes like that. So, it's, in my opinion, I think Jello pudding pie should come back. I think it should come back. Why not? You never know. That'd be awesome, but I don't see that happening. No, 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 no. That's not gonna happen. No, that's a shame. Okay. One last thing about this, the Pudding Pops had 90 calories per, bar. The gelatin pops had 35. So if you were on a diet or trying to cut up, not to have any sweets or, trying to cut down, this is perfect. Yeah, that we need that today, especially me. Okay. So that's it for this show. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the Limelight / Excalibur Nightclub in Chicago, and also talk about Jello Pudding Pops. Okay, and this podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, also on Overcast, Breaker. Also will be posted on my blog, www.vanishchicagoland.blog. Also, it'll be on my YouTube channel, Vanish Chicagoland Stories. People still ask me. They even asked me yesterday, where do I find your podcast? Where do I listen to your podcast? What's the easiest way to listen? The easiest way is go to YouTube, do a search, Vanish Chicagoland Stories. You find it, subscribe it, you listen to it, and listen to previous episodes if you like. Take your time, and they're always there. People have told me that's the most easiest way to listen. You can listen on your desktop, your iPad, your tablet, or your phone. Also, this will be posted on my social media accounts: Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, LinkedIn, Reddit, Instagram. There's the link. What else? It's on Threads, also TikTok, also Blue Sky. It's not a new app. It's been around for a while. You can check it out. I heard Blue Sky now. Anyone can sign up. You don't need an invitation. Just sign up, and you'll find me there. You can find me there. Okay. I will not do a podcast episode Tuesday. I have somewhere to go, which is a shame, but yeah, like I said, I have somewhere to go, so I won't be able to do one. I'll do one next weekend, and then I'll just, and I'll think of something I'll talk about. I have an idea what I'm going to discuss, so yeah, I just thought of something. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so this is Pico Science, your host for Van Chicagoland Stories. Thank you for joining me. I had a wonderful time talking to you. Today is a nice sunny day, kind of chilly. It's February. Yesterday was cold. Ooh, very cold. I didn't do a podcast episode because I had breakfast with my friend, the one I talked about earlier. And, I needed a break. So that was good. Okay. So here's Bye Bye for me, and here's a little traveling music with Ray Rayner saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.